Yo, YouTube, what is up? So, Shakur Stevenson recently had an interview with Fight Hype. Shout out to Fight Hype. Make sure y'all check out the interview. But he had a few things to say. Now, before we get into, that specific thing, which y'all seen in the title, we're gonna talk about Shakur Stevenson's fight coming up this Saturday, ESPN. He will be taking on, and I hope I'm getting this guy's name right, Jeremiah Nakathila, something like that. Well, I'm just gonna call him Jeremiah. But Shakur Stevenson versus Jeremiah this Saturday, ESPN. Make sure y'all tune in. But when it comes to Jeremiah, I've recently watched fights of him. And from what you can see that he is, a bigger guy. I'm not sure how big, what his exact height is, but he does look like a bigger guy. He, has power. He can hit. He has power. Now, is he knocking out guys that are on the level of Shakur Stevenson? No, because if you check out, his records, the records of the guys that he beat, they're not that great. But at the end of the day, the man does have power, and he said he's coming in to knock Shakur Stevens' head off. He said he ain't gonna make it past the 11th round, and he definitely has the power to do that. Now, when it comes to Shakur Stevenson is one of those fighters that you look at and you're like, damn, this guy's good. He's gonna be one of them guys it's gonna be hard to beat that man. And Shakur Stevenson, he looks like he just gets better and better with each fight. He has the boxing ability. He's slick. And as of late, he's been showing more power. Like he's grown into his man strength. But a lot of people like to compare Shakur Stevenson to, Floyd Mayweather. Now, I hate to do that. I really do hate to do that. But I see him as more of an Andre Ward than a Floyd Mayweather. Because Floyd Mayweather, when he was Shakur Stevenson's age, he was knocking guys out. We talked about this with Devin Haney. Shakur Stevenson really isn't knocking the guys out to be, considered like a Floyd Mayweather at 24 years of age, or however old he is. But Shakur Stevenson, he's the real deal, man. Shakur Stevenson is one of those guys that, like I said, you just look at and you're like, this dude is legit. He's the real deal. And he's going to be up there. Whenever people talk about Teofimo Lopez, whenever people talk about Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, whatever, all those young guys at the 135-pound division, y'all forget. We got Shakur Stevenson, just one weight class below, who is maybe just as talented, if not more talented, than these guys. Now, Shakur Stevenson, his fighting style, like I said, it sort of reminds me of an Andre Ward, but it also sort of reminds me of a Terrence Crawford. The reason why I say a Terrence Crawford is because Terrence Crawford comes in there, he's a smaller guy, he wants to come in there and beat you down and hurt you, he's mean. Shakur Stevenson is sort of in the same mold as that. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in there, beat you down, beat you up, stop you. He's mean. Now, when it comes to his fight with Jeremiah, I've noticed is, like I said, he's a power puncher, but he's real slow. And his recovery after he punches is very slow. He's not the fastest guy, speed-wise, and that is where I see Shakur Stevenson taking advantage of Jeremiah. I feel like when it comes to Saturday night, we're going to see Shakur Stevenson, put on a big display, put on a performance, and stop Jeremiah. that is my breakdown of the fight. I just feel like Shakur Stevenson is, levels above Jeremiah. I feel like his speed, his boxing IQ, the ring generalship, even his power, I feel like is underrated. He's real slippery. He's hard to hit. He's a tremendous boxer. He has great boxing skills, and he can brawl if he wants to. But Shakur Stevenson, he went on to talk about Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence. Now, he said, when it comes to the fights, Manny Pacquiao, these are Shakur Stevenson's words. He says Manny Pacquiao has decent speed and decent timing. Now, before you comment anything, we're going to go ahead and change that decent to great, because we all know Manny Pacquiao has great speed and great timing. Put some respect on that man's name. He's a legend. But yeah, Manny Pacquiao has great speed, great timing, which are my words, by the way. But he also says that Manny Pacquiao is going to have to get off first with Errol Spence. He's going to have to be the first one off with Errol Spence, because the later it gets, the worse it's going to look, the uglier, as he said. The uglier it's going to look. It's going to get real ugly, he said, in the later rounds if Manny Pacquiao is not able to get off first. And to an extent, he does have a point. Manny Pacquiao, being 42 years of age, he does have to get off first. Manny Pacquiao is used to getting off first. That is the thing. Manny Pacquiao is used to getting off first. Manny Pacquiao does have the speed. He does have the timing. Those are things that Errol Spence, though he has, fought guys that have, great timing or great speed, he's never fought anybody like Manny Pacquiao. Now, when it comes to like timing and speed, I think Kell Brook might have been the best in terms of timing and speed that Errol Spence has fought. Kell Brook, he has tremendous, he's sort of in the 1-2 mold, but he has great timing and great speed when it comes to the 1-2. Manny Pacquiao is not just gonna throw 1-2. He's gonna go 7, 8, 10, whatever. But to an extent, Shakur Stevenson does have a point. Manny Pacquiao will have to go off, will have to, be first. Manny Pacquiao will have to use angles when it comes to fighting Errol Spence. Manny Pacquiao will have to use his legs, make Errol Spence think, make Errol Spence move, make him freeze up when he does jump in and throw those combinations, make him freeze up. We've seen that with the Keith Thurman fight. You've seen Manny Pacquiao jump in, throw those combinations, and Keith Thurman just, freeze up and just sit there. Not only is that scoring points, not only does that look good to fans, fans are going to be screaming and clapping, and the judge is going to hear that. But even if he's not even punching you, even if he's not even connecting, that's what the judge is going to hear. They're going to hear that crowd, and they're going to see Manny Pacquiao throw 7 punches, and they're going to score, even if he doesn't connect on any of them. So that is one thing that Errol Spence is going to have to watch out for. He can't just freeze up when Manny Pacquiao goes in there and throws those combinations. He can't freeze up when Manny Pacquiao steps to the side and is hitting you on the side of the face after you just seen him right in front of you like 0.2 seconds ago. But I've already broke down the fight. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. I've already broke it down, and I'm gonna break it down even more. That fight is one of the biggest fights. You got the legend, versus the big fish. So whenever that fight gets closer, I'm gonna break that down. But at the end of the day, this is a 50-50 fight when it comes to Manny Pacquiao. When it comes to Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, 42 years of age, coming off of a 2-year layoff, which the 2-year layoff actually might help Manny Pacquiao, and that is what we're going to talk about in another video. We're going to talk about that. Does that 2-year layoff help Manny Pacquiao at 42 years of age? When you're 25, 28, you don't want to have a 2-year layoff, but when you're 42, Does that help your body more? We're gonna talk about that in another video. But Shakur Stevenson says it's gonna get real ugly for Manny Pacquiao in the later rounds. So y'all let me know down in the comments. Is Shakur Stevenson right, or is he wrong? Because at the end of the day, this fight is 50-50. This fight is 50-50, and I can't wait. So let's go.